Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Samuel Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D, and we talk about music, movies, and so much more.
All right, we're back. Another episode, Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes, episode 43. This is going to be an actor showdown. Robert De Niro versus Al Pacino. Who's the better Italian? Who's the better actor?
Yeah,
we'll find out. How we did it, like we do the band stuff when we have album battles. We go song by song. For this one, since it's two actors, what we did is we tried to find movies within the same year or around the same year. It was kind of tough because Al Pacino took a few years off in the 80s. And during that time, like Robert De Niro did like 10 movies or something crazy. And he just did way more movies in general. I don't know if it was to pay for, marriages and kids and shit like that, because I don't think Al Pacino was married at all, maybe once or twice. I know he was with Beverly D'Angelo, but they weren't married.
He was with her.
So it's funny, they need money like we do, except it's like times like a million.
Oh yeah.
But so we picked what did we pick? 13 movies, I think. 13 rounds, like
12.
A fight. Or 12? Yeah.
12. It's a 12-round competition here, Damo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there could be a tie. Yeah, there could be a tie, right?
I don't think there's going to be a tie.
Yeah, I don't think there could be. But I think this is going to be a good one because, when you're talking about actors, they're the first two names people that pop into people's heads, We could do a Matt Damon versus Ben Affleck one. Those two, those two are like joined at the hip. You know what I mean? Like, or I don't know, Brad Pitt and Robert Downey Jr. or something. Who knows? I don't know. But you can go on and on with this stuff. When you find two actors that are kind of like, always in the same breath.
All right, De Niro versus Pacino. First movie, Damo, Mean Streets versus The Godfather. What do you got?
On their own, they're both incredible movies, both classics. I think did we review Mean Streets or we talked about it?
We talked about it.
Yeah. When we did our Mafia movies, both of these came up. Godfather is one of the greatest movies of all time. Definitely a top 5 at all, in movie history. So I am definitely going with Godfather.
So that's 1 point for Pacino.
Yeah. Oh, which is funny because, we know De Niro was in the second one, but this is Godfather Part 1. He auditioned for the role of Michael or Sonny. I think Michael.
Michael, I think, yeah.
Yeah. And if you get the DVD with the box set, with all the extra footage, you actually show his screen test and stuff, which is pretty cool. But I'm going with Godfather here.
Mike D, what you got?
Yeah, this is pretty easy for me, Godfather.
Yeah, it got to be The Godfather, right? How could you go the other way? That's why we didn't pick Godfather 2. So they don't go head-to-head in that one.
Right.
And I thought the casting was good. As far as, him playing in Godfather 2, I thought that was actually made sense. I thought that was a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I thought he was incredible as young Vito, man. That was part 2.
He was great, man. He was great. But I think for this first round, we're going to have to give it to Pacino. All three of us go for Pacino. Dame, you keeping score?
Yep, I got him.
Yep, that's Pacino gets the knockdown in this one. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have Taxi Driver versus Serpico. What do you got, Damo?
It's tough, really tough. I love Taxi Driver and I love Serpico. And Serpico is based on a true story of New York City cop. I'm sure this happened in every city in America, especially at that time, where the cops we get we get paid off, to let certain things slide. But Serpico in real life, and in the movie, obviously he was a straight cop. He didn't like any of that shit. So the cops, they kind of made sure that he got hurt, and it was turned into this whole big thing, and they based a movie on it. And Taxi Driver is just kind of, it's a little weird. Like, you feel bad for the guy, De Niro's character, Travis Bickle, because he's kind of like,
that's what they kind of wanted you to do.
Yeah. Like, you kind of like feel bad for him. Like, he's got like this thing, like he doesn't know any better almost, like the weird,
he don't
like
fit in. He's kind of odd.
Well, he kind of like he tried to take like the good girl to the porno.
Exactly, right.
Like, bad girl to like fancy restaurant.
Yeah.
Right. It was just like, you just like
do the opposite.
Your paths crossed there,
Yeah.
He likes to drink.
This is tough. I mean, if you ask me tomorrow, it'll be one movie. Today, I got to go with Taxi Driver.
Damo goes with De Niro. What do you got there, Mike D?
Yeah, another tough one. I mean, but if I go on by what I watched more, and I don't know, to me, this was kind of like I don't want to say breakthrough role for De Niro, but like I mean, he really was like metamorphosized in this role. Like, he kind of went in the beginning from being like weak, kind of, to the end of being like a psycho. So
yeah.
I'm going with Taxi Driver.
Mike goes with De Niro. For me, Serpico was good. Definitely, true story, good movie. Pacino was good in it. But Taxi Driver, that was a whole different element. Yeah, like you said, Dane, he couldn't get shit right. He just, but the film does what it's supposed to. You feel bad at one point, and then he just winds up being a nut.
Yeah, but then at the very end, he goes back to being normal again. Well, not normal, but
that's called crazy.
Yeah. Jodie Foster was incredible in it.
Oh, great cast.
Great cast.
Wasn't Harvey Keitel was in it too, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was the pimp.
He was the pimp. Yeah.
Harvey Keitel's great.
Yeah. With the cocaine pinky. You notice that? Real long.
I don't know if I remember that.
Pinky. Yeah.
He had the hat. Remember the hat? He had the hat.
Yeah.
It's the wife beater on the hat.
Yeah.
Great.
I love, man, this is like almost like a passion of mine. Like, I love those movies set in New York City in the 70s. They just look so gritty.
The 70s are the best movies.
What's funny?
So good.
we checked out. What was the one we checked out the other day? Bird movie, because
we're going to
neither
get
of us
to it
saw
a little bit, and Justice for All. We're going to get to that in a little bit.
So yeah, we watched that, and it's just like the movies in the 70s are kind of just had this whole new, like, different ambience to them.
It does. Even the horror movies.
It was so real. Now everything it's CGI or they recreate things, like, it's back then. Like, you wanted a gritty city. You're going to find a city, and you're going to get realness. Yeah.
Right. Like, I don't call me like, you old fuddy duddy or whatever. Boomer. I don't know what the fuck the term is for us.
Boomer.
But I don't think we're boomers.
We're Gen X. We're Gen X.
Yeah. But it's just like the shit today. It just, like, it's too much, man. Like, they try to cram so much in. They try to just, I don't know, always make the part for the kid and always make the character for the kid, even though it's a sort of R-rated movie, and it's like, it's just such a formula anymore with everything. And I'm just sick of it. Mm-hmm. So going back and looking at movies from like the 70s, it feels like they got everything right at one decade. Yeah.
Well, we were talking about that the other day, where the conversation sounded real. It didn't sound like so scripted. It sounded more natural, the conversations.
Well, you had like the greatest filmmakers and actors, like, coming into their own at that time,
Yeah.
And they came out of this whole, like, beatnik kind of poet kind of hippie era, where it was like, we're doing things our way, where everything before that was very, like, kind of like conservative and formulatic, kind of pretty much like how it is now.
Right.
And, all these guys in the 60s and 70s came along and kind of broke the mold and did things differently. That's why it was like a realness to it,
Right. Like even the 50s, man, like the 50s, 60s movies, they were kind of like laughable, like the dialogue.
Right.
It's so scripted, man. See.
Everybody
Overdramatic.
talks like this.
Yeah. Right.
Give him the money. See.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna go with Taxi Driver on that, so we don't drift off too much over here. Taxi Driver. So I guess what 3-3, Dame?
Yeah.
Here we go. 3-3. All right, Damo. We have Deer Hunter versus Dog Day Afternoon. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, now these two movies are both, a few years apart, but like we said, they're both great movies for those actors, and they kind of matched up well. But Deer Hunter, I never saw up until a little over a year ago when everything shut down, pandemic and everything, and we're like scrambling, looking for, you watch everything like literally that's on Netflix, and then what else? So we went through this thing where we watched Taxi Driver and all these classic movies, and this one came up. I always wanted to see it, and man, it was great. It was a great movie. Kind of reminded me of, in a way, just some of Apocalypse Now a little bit. It was like a Vietnam kind of movie.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty deep. And Dog Day Afternoon I saw years ago, and it basically just takes place in a bank, the whole setting. And it's when you find out, I think maybe midway, like why he's robbing a bank. It's kind of it's kind of funny, and probably
it's a true story. So
yeah, but man, between those two, I'm going with Deer Hunter, man. That's like just a great film, and it's also Fredo. What's his name? In
Michael.
No.
Begins with a C. His last name is a C.
Oh my God.
Cazell or something.
Johnny Cazell or something.
John Cazale or something. That was his last movie. He was diagnosed with forget what kind of cancer or something.
What was Dog Day Afternoon?
No, Deer Hunter.
He was in both of them then. Oh yeah, I guess why?
That's right. He was in both. Yeah,
he was in both.
Well, he was dying when they made Deer Hunter, and I think he passed away right before that movie was released.
Wow.
And I think who was the female lead in that movie? I think what the hell was her name?
In Deer Hunter?
In Deer Hunter, yeah. Well, those two were like, they weren't married, but they're like a pretty tight couple. I can't think of her name. I would have sworn that she was in that movie too. Meryl Streep. Yeah, he was with Meryl Streep.
I was Meryl Streep. Okay.
Yeah, I just looked it up. John Cazale. Okay, yeah. So
I didn't know that.
My vote is Deer Hunter.
Mike D, what you got?
I would have said Deer Hunter, and I actually watched Dog Day Afternoon for I haven't seen that since I was maybe a little kid. And I think that movie, I don't know. I think it has the edge on Deer Hunter for me. To me, it was like Deer Hunter was long. It was a great movie. But when you walk away from Deer Hunter, it's kind of like, what do you remember? That one scene, really, where they're in the POW camp.
The Russian roulette scene.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah, it's intense.
Like, you watch Dog Day Afternoon, man, and that's just like, you get sucked in right from the beginning. It's just like, boom. It's like, it's intense right from the get-go, that movie. So, I don't know. I'm going with Dog Day Afternoon on this one.
We have a split one so far. We used to. Deer Hunter was a really good movie. It was really long. It reminded me of Apocalypse Now, which is another great movie that I kind of like. I don't know, not that I lose interest. I don't know. I get lost in the middle of it or something. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I guess the point where Brando shows up, it gets a little
weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
It's like another movie.
So
I actually saw that recently too for the first time.
Crazy movie, man.
Yeah. At the end when Brando shows up, it's like, okay, it's
another world.
Yeah.
Deer Hunter, it was intense. It was crazy. I mean, a lot of good actors in it. I remember back in the day, it was like a double VHS tape. It was like, it was one of those.
Yeah.
They used to intermission if it was on the cable. Remember that?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
For me, I'm going to have to go Dog Day Afternoon. I kind of enjoyed that a little bit more, a little easier to watch, flow through a little. I mean, Al Pacino's kind of, everything's like you said, so real. He's fumbling around, he's tripping around. What the hell's going on?
I saw a picture of the real guy who he portrayed And guess what, man? They did a good job with casting
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
And Chris Sarandon was like his lover or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I mean
That was a twist, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean that was a twist. What about yeah, man, that was you don't like I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was even going on in like 1975.
What was it?
Yeah,
Sonny
right.
Sonny
Yeah.
Wartzik.
Yeah, I don't even know if I could pronounce that name.
I think it's John Cazale was in that movie too. He played.
Yeah, forgot about that.
He
Yeah.
played a sidekick who gets shot at the
He
end.
was pretty intense in that too.
Yeah. Did
Yeah.
you see like the Godfather connection? though? He was in Deer Hunter. He was in this. A lot of these guys.
They're all
Well,
connected.
they
yeah.
click
had
is
a
all
little
connected.
click. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like the Brat Pack, sort of. They all came up together. They're all buddies.
That click is totally connected. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Dog Day Afternoon, Dame. If you're taking score.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, Dame, we'll move it on to the next one. Raging Bull versus End Justice for All. What you got?
This is a tough one, man. Raging Bull, Justice for All. They're both. I think Justice for All was nominated for some Academy Awards at the time. They both came out. It was a year apart, a year and a couple months apart. I always thought it was like a few months apart, but yeah. I mean, Justice for All, you had that great scene in the classic line, how am I out of order? You out of order? The whole court's out of order.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to go with Raging Bull.
Damo goes with De Niro. What do you got there, Mike D?
See, I always had my towards Raging Bull.
I know we talked about this.
I've never seen a Justice for All before, so I had to sit down and watch it the other day. And guess what, man? Like this is what we were talking about. Like it just had that organic feel to it. Like it felt like it was real. It didn't. It had real conversations.
Mhm.
It wasn't. It was a good '70s film, and I don't know. For me, I'm going with that. It just like where
I knew you were going for
yeah. I mean, Raging Bull. Like I don't know. To me, it was like De Niro was too over the top. I don't know if the guy was really like that, but yeah, De Niro was over the top of that for me. Just too much.
This is a tough one.
Yeah.
And Justice for All, man, that was a really good movie. He played a great part. Same thing. I mean, if you watch Pacino, especially the early stuff, he's bumbling around, he's tripping over stuff, he's a mess. But
I gotta say, I love seeing Jeffrey Tambor hair. Man, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, that guy. I didn't know he had hair. We had to research. We're like, why does that guy look familiar? We looked him up. We're like, wow,
Right.
He's got hair. This guy hasn't had hair in 40
Craig
years.
T. Nelson's in it.
Yeah.
Dude, some of these actors in there were like, wow, these guys were in everything at that time. All the old guys.
Lee Strasberg, who was
Yeah.
he was Pacino's
Grandfather, right?
yeah, but in real life he was his acting instructor.
Oh,
He
I
went
didn't know that.
Yeah, he went to like Lee Strasberg School for Acting or something
I
like
didn't
that.
know
So
that.
yeah, that's why, and they're both in Godfather too.
Yeah. I didn't know it was his acting coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dog Day, not Dog Day, I'm sorry. And Justice for All was really, really good, but Raging Bull, that's just a groundbreaker. I mean, De Niro on his game. I mean, he played Jake LaMotta great. He played him great, and I'm just it's one of my favorites. I'm going with De Niro, Raging Bull. All right, up next, The Untouchables versus Scarface. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, now we're getting into the territory where De Niro was in the 80s and he's putting out like 3-4 movies a year, and Pacino just kind of like, well, we talked about this on the phone the other night. One of my favorite movies, and it's probably like his worst Pacino movie, is this movie called Revolution. And it's
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Came out right after Scarface, and like 83, 84 or something. And it got terrible reviews. And Al Pacino was so pissed off and upset that he took like 4 or 5 years off from doing movies. So during that time, that's when, De Niro was doing all these films. But yeah, it's Revolution was basically sort of like Patriot, It's about this, Pacino's character is his son joins the army as a drummer boy, and Pacino is trying to get him out of the army or look for him or whatever. He winds up getting really into it and fighting for the revolution, and I really like the movie. Anyway, that's not even in this discussion. I'm just bringing up the point why Pacino didn't really do much at that time because of that movie. So yeah, we got Untouchables versus Scarface. You know what? I didn't like Untouchables. I saw it a couple times. To me, it seemed like I thought Dick Tracy was more believable. But Scarface, I mean, that's kind of the cartoon too. It's but it just like the character is just amazing, and all the characters in the Scarface are great. So definitely one for Pacino on that one.
Mike D.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. I got to love hate with Scarface. Okay. In one aspect, I think it's just a horrible film. I think it's bad, like bad acted. But in another way, it's like it's almost so bad acted that it's good.
It's great.
I mean, like his accent and everything.
I love it.
And it was like the Untouchables, where it was like De Niro was in it, but like he wasn't really.
You mean Pacino, right?
Well, no, I said Untouchables.
Oh, I'm sorry, Untouchables.
Untouchables. De Niro wasn't really even in that many scenes of it, It was more about the guys trying to make the arrest on him and everything.
Yeah.
But
Sean Connery and
this is just a tough one for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm going to go with Scarface on this one.
Really? Wow, that's a surprise.
I mean, I liked Untouchables. I mean, but I'm going to give Scarface that. It was so bad it was good.
Fucking
Pacino's throwing these fucking lousy punches and just connecting with De Niro somehow right now for me. So I'll leave it at that. He's a little punch drunk.
For me, it's not even close. The Untouchables, I couldn't wait to see it. I was so disappointed when it came out.
Yeah.
When I seen it, I was like, "Oh my god!" I don't know, kind of was boring.
Well, it was supposed to be like the TV series.
Yeah, fuck that. It was boring. They could keep the TV series too. Scarface, one of the greatest movies of all time. I
wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't go that far.
No.
One of the most enjoyable movies of all time.
Love it. So many quotes off that movie. Oh,
it's
like as far
cartoon.
as him playing like doing like a Spanish accent, like it was kind of laughable.
That's the best part. I love it.
But that's what I mean. Like if he was doing a good job, you could say, he could have been one of the greatest of all times. But it was, to me, it was kind of a raspberry acting job there. But it worked. It worked for what it was.
Love Scarface. I'm going with Pacino.
I really felt bad for his buddy Manny though. Man,
Manny.
He got shit on so much.
Manny was a great character.
Yeah, he was great. I liked him in Breaking Bad.
I was just ready to say that. He showed up in Breaking Bad years later. Yeah.
He was also he was in a bunch of stuff.
He was in something like a TV show or something for a long time.
He did a movie with De Niro. Did he do Angel Heart? I think it might have been with him and De Niro.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
He was in a bunch of stuff.
That was a real good movie.
Yeah.
And he was on what's the other show? With what the hell's his name? It was another big show.
What's his real name? Stephen Bauer. Stephen Bauer is his name. Yeah.
What's the other guy? The guy the show where the guys I can't think of the show where the guy's brother's a boxer. He's the Irish guy. What the hell's his name?
Ray Donovan.
Ray Donovan. That's it. Ray Donovan.
Okay.
He was in Ray Donovan. He played one of the sidekicks, and he was great in it.
He was also.
I never watched that show.
Great.
Yeah, I never saw it either. I heard it's pretty good.
Is it over or is it still going on?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. The last season, I kind of fell off.
He was also in some music videos. He was in the Pointer Sisters video, Dare Me. And he was in the Miami Sound Machine video, Conga.
What, was that pre-Scarface?
Conga.
Watch out, Dame. The rhythm's going to get you, Damo. Watch out.
And if anybody says anything, I'm part Cuban, so
that's right.
Gloria Estefan is Cuban also.
There you go, Damo.
I can make fun of my own kind.
That's right. Lay it down. Lay it down, Damo.
Am I allowed to laugh?
No, I told
Yeah,
you
yeah.
you better duck. The rhythm's going to get you. Be careful. Dame, can you play the congas? Have you played the congas?
Yeah,
before?
I love the congas.
Awesome. Okay, so I guess we're moving on.
Next round.
Goodfellas versus Sea of Love. What you got, Damo?
Well, this is going to be easy because I never saw Sea of Love, but I was doing some research today and I was reading about it. Sea of Love, I think, was his first movie back after that 4 or 5 year layoff. Just reading about it, it seems like it would be a really good movie. Just like the plot seems pretty interesting. I think he's looking for a serial killer that writes wanted ads and stuff like that. It seems pretty cool. So I will check that out. But Goodfellas, I mean, it could have been up against anything. I still would have picked Goodfellas.
Yeah.
It's a great movie, man.
Mike D.
Yeah, I mean, Goodfellas. You can't even go against that one.
Not
it's
a
tough
shot.
one.
Yeah.
Tough one.
It's the Sea of Love, good movie. Goodfellas, come on. It's on every night. And I leave it on.
Right. If it's on, I'll just leave it right on.
Yeah.
That one's not even fair.
Right.
Unless it's at the end of it, like where it's kind of
Yeah. The ending
that
falls
last
off
half
a little
hour.
bit. The last 20 minutes of Goodfellas, I'm like, I could do it out, but the rest of it I love.
Yeah.
But it's classic. So we all go with De Niro on that one. Okay, guys, moving on to the next one. Cape Fear versus Scent of a Woman. Damo.
Man, it's been a while since I saw both of those. I thought they came out the same year. They're about a year apart, but I think I got to go with Scent of a Woman, which I think was Pacino's first Oscar for Best Actor.
Yeah.
And I think De Niro was nominated for Best Actor in Cape Fear. So that's
tough. That's tough.
But yeah, this is a tough match. It's as good as you're going to get. But I'm going with Scent of a Woman. I thought he was great in that. And I read all the research he did to play a blind character. The trauma, that you have to go through, and when you're becoming blind, and then you become blind because the character, he became blind. It wasn't born that way and stuff. So did a lot of training, and you think he was like, he spent
That's
a lot
how
of
he
time
knew how to
with
drive.
people. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Ooh-ah.
yeah, so I'm going with
She was a hoo-ah.
Yeah.
You're going Pacino.
Yeah.
Mike D.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that movie was good, Son of a Woman. I mean, I thought he was over the top again.
Yeah.
Pacino. I mean, it actually seems like at the second half of Pacino's career, most of his movies are just over the top.
Yeah.
Like, it's like Pacino's acting, doing himself, doing other characters. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, but Cape Fear, man. That was a remake. I think Robert Mitchum did the original Max Cady.
Yeah. And he was in it, I think.
He was in it. I forget what part he played. I know he was in it.
Yeah.
But man, De Niro was just a oh man, evil son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Bad.
Come out wherever you are.
I mean, creep factor going on. I mean, it was. I don't know. I got to go with Cape Fear on this one.
Mike D goes with De Niro. Scent of a Woman, great. Pacino was fucking fantastic in the movie, but Cape Fear, intense, man. It's like Travis Bickle on 1,000.
Yeah, right.
Wow, dude, when he bites that chick's cheek or oh my god, yeah, it's what a character. That was intense, man, intense. I'm going with De Niro, Cape Fear.
All right.
Yep. Yeah, that movie was crazy. Okay, guys, moving on to the next one. A Bronx Tale versus Carlito's Way. Another tough one.
Oh, man. Yeah, I like the Bronx Tale. Not as much as most people do. I think it's a great story and everything. And De Niro plays his character is, not what you would think in a mob movie. He plays the straight guy, plays C's dad. He pretty much doesn't want him hanging out with the mafia type, but Carlito's Way is sort of like Scarface Part 2, I guess, a lot more tamed down, but man, there was a lot of, God damn it, that movie, just like a lot of anxiety in Carlito's Way for me. Just everything with Sean Penn's character, the lawyer, who I thought he was incredible in that movie. And, just like the very end, the Carlito's Way, where you think he's finally getting out, and then, just like the last second just kind of like ripped away. But
Benny Blanco from the Bronx.
Benny Blanco from the Bronx.
Yeah. And he's what? He's an underrated actor. I think he's fucking great. John Leguizamo, fucking great. He's so good, man.
He is good.
Who did you say?
John Leguizamo. I said it real quick. Leguizamo. I gotta say quick, little fuck up. Leguizamo. John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo.
Wong Fu.
Yeah. So I'm going with Carlito.
All right, Damo goes with Carlito. Mike D.
He really wasn't it. De Niro really wasn't in Goodfellas even that much. I mean,
Bronxdale. How high is you?
I'm just saying, right about here right now.
How high is you?
But yeah, Carlito's Way was great, man. I love that movie. I haven't seen that movie in years. I'm going with Carlito's Way.
2 for Pacino. Now, if you would have asked me what movie I like better, it's really, really close. But De Niro's part really wasn't that huge in it. Where Carlito's Way, I'm going with Carlito's Way. I'm going with Pacino.
Yeah.
That could be an upset. All three of us picked it too.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought that was a tough battle.
Yeah, you don't really hear about that movie as far as like great Al Pacino movies.
So good.
But I love that movie so much. Did you ever see the sequel to that?
Yes.
No, I didn't even know they made one.
With P. Diddy and a couple other
Awful.
I wish they would redo it for real.
Yeah, which I think was a prequel.
It was a prequel.
Right?
It was how he built up. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually might even have that on DVD or something.
I would probably watch it again, even though I didn't think it was good.
I was hugely disappointed in that.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. But it was definitely a prequel.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got another tough one here. We have Casino versus Donnie Brasco.
This isn't fair. Not saying that because it's one-sided, because it's freaking tough. It's
might be the toughest one.
Yeah, that definitely one of them. Casino is probably one of my favorite. It's a mafia, right? Mafia movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mafia, and I love I love any movie that's based in in Vegas and everything. Donnie Brasco's great, man, too, though. Johnny Depp's character, he kind of, he goes on the cover and he really takes a liking to this guy, where he actually kind of becomes one of them. And
he was at one point he was close to going that way.
Yeah. And I felt kind of sympathetic towards Al Pacino's character, but man, Casino was just one of my favorites of all time, and definitely got to go with De Niro on that one.
Damo goes with Casino. Mike D.
Man, this is a tough one.
It is.
How many sucks on that thing till you get an answer?
1, 2.
What Pacino movie was this again? Now,
like a Tootsie Roll.
What Pacino movie are we doing again? You just knocked it out of my head. God damn it.
Donnie Brasco and Casino.
I'm going with Donnie Brasco.
Mike D with Donnie Brasco. Oh man, it's like two of my favorite movies.
You're on the spot.
This is definitely the toughest one for me, probably. Man, they're both so good. I'll tell you what. I'm going to go with Donnie Brasco, and I'll tell you why. It's the opposite of Goodfellas. Goodfellas shows you all the spending and the good time. Donnie Brasco shows you, fuck you, where's my money? Where you're struggling to make a penny. You're struggling to. It shows the opposite side. It don't just show the glorified side. It shows what you have to come up with this. You have to come up with that. So for the realism, I'm going to go with Donnie Brasco.
Yeah.
Tough. That was a tough one because I love Casino too. All right, guys, moving on to the next one. Jackie Brown versus Devil's Advocate.
Oh, man. It's another tough round, but De Niro has a much smaller role in this one. You know, Devil's Advocate, you know, Pacino's a starring role with Keanu Reeves, but I love his character in Jackie Brown. Lewis, he plays like some
it was like I don't know, like just like a funky criminal.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's a scene I love. They're coming out of the mall. They're in the mall parking lot. And the girl, I forget her name, but she's busting De Niro's balls big time. And she keeps on saying, Lewis, and she says something after that, and she keeps on repeating it. And he just tells her to shut up, and he just can't take it. And he just pulls out a fucking gun and shoots her right in the head, right in the middle of this
not expecting that. Totally not expecting.
It was
great.
great.
That was unexpected.
But De Niro and Samuel L. Jackson and everything. It was, you know, and Pam Grier was one of my favorite.
That was a great movie.
You know, she's one of my favorite actresses. I love a lot blaxploitation films. Devil's Advocate was great, but I gotta go with Jackie Brown.
Another one for De Niro, Mike D.
Yeah, I mean, Devil's Advocate was just great, man. It was different. I mean, I think Pacino's character is more focused in this one than Robert De Niro and Jackie Brown.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Devil's Advocate.
Mike D with Pacino. I'm going with Devil's Advocate. I thought that John Milton character that he played was so good. And it was probably the first time I actually looked at Keanu Reeves going, wow, this guy's a pretty damn good actor.
Yeah, right.
You know?
He took a bad beat for a while, man.
He's good.
Bad beat.
Was The Matrix before this? This came out in
I'm gonna say
97.
I think after.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember when The Matrix came out.
Matrix might have been like 99.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
Yeah. But Devil's Advocate, man, what a great movie. Twisted. It was great. I thought he was fantastic in it. Yeah, I'm definitely going with Pacino on that one. All right, guys, moving on to the next one. Analyze This versus Any Given Sunday. What do you got, Demo?
This is easy. I'm going with Analyze This. I'm not really that into sports movies, to be honest. Like, I kind of put them in the same category as like how I feel about music biopics. Like, I'm really critical about it, and that goes the same way with the sports stuff. It's sort of like the same story all the time. Plus, I just wasn't really into the movie, so Analyze This was good. It was, you know, it was funny and everything, and that's a pretty easy choice.
Mike D.
I didn't like either. I
We'd have a blank.
Analyze This. Any Given Sunday was good the first time I watched it, and then after that, just like, why am I watching this movie again? I don't know, man. How do you mark something you equally hate?
Don't vote at all.
I could leave this one blank then?
Leave it blank.
Well,
right. I'll just call this down the center. Yeah.
But if we get a tie, you're the tiebreaker.
Okay.
There you
on
go.
this one. We got to see how Bert votes.
Analyze This crushes it. And I like football movies, but Analyze This, Analyze that. I like both of them. I thought they were hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't even like Billy Crystal. I don't know.
I'm not a Billy Crystal guy.
He gets annoying quick.
Yeah.
He was good in this though.
Yeah.
He gets.
Then they
annoying
made
quick.
Analyze That.
That one was funny too.
I didn't even see that one.
Dude, the part.
Why watch it when you didn't like the first?
I think in the first one, the part when when he says he says Dad has a patient that dreams he shits trout. I fucking says to myself. Great movie. I love it. Yeah, I like both of them. Okay, guys, moving on to the last round here. Meet the Fuckers, Meet the Parents, Meet the whatever. That series versus Insomnia.
Another pretty easy one, and it's probably not the one you expect. Probably the only one who's going to vote for this is I'm going with Insomnia. I saw this at the movie theater. I liked it.
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
Mike
Wasn't really
Day.
too crazy about those Meet the
This
Parents.
is a tough one for me. Like, I like the first one. The Meet the Parents, the first one, I thought it was a great movie. By the time the second one came around, it was like De Niro's character was so over the top. But Insomnia, I don't know. It's just a good, great movie. Robin Williams you had in that.
Mhm.
Unexpected part. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to say Insomnia.
There you go, David. You got company.
I didn't think that.
I'm gonna go Meet the Fuckers.
see, now you're headed towards the realm where it's like I'm getting sick of De Niro.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah.
I love them movies. That's it. We got a total, Dame.
Gino wins 7-5.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? I totally would have thought it would have been the other way around.
Yeah, I know.
Al Pacino pulls it
Yeah.
off.
Only by one, really. Well,
Wow. By 2, right? 7-5?
well, by
Yeah. Wow.
2, but yeah.
How about that? I thought it was definitely going to be De Niro. And who knows? I changed my mind on a few of them. Okay, so let me ask you. I'll start with Dane first. What would you rather watch, Heat or The Irishman?
I really like The Irishman. Definitely that one. Yeah. And Heat was the first movie that they were both in together.
Yeah, that scene was it like the diner scene or something where they're together. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like everybody was pumped up for. I was kind of disappointed. Not really much.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked it. I just like The Irishman better. I like the characters better. You know, it was a little bit of South Philly background there too,
Yeah.
which was cool. to see.
Even though De Niro was CGI'd up.
Yeah, you know what? I think that it looked pretty decent. I'm not,
You
know,
did a
I'm
good
not.
job, I thought.
Yeah, for what it was, the technology where they're at, I thought it was okay.
I thought they did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Mike, dude, what's your pick?
I wasn't a Heat fan when it came out. I just saw The Irishman. A little bit too long for me. They could have definitely trimmed the shit out of that movie.
It was long,
But The Irishman was good. It wasn't De Niro that made it good. It was just a good movie.
You're going Irishman.
Irishman.
I'm doing the same. I agree. I'm
Yeah.
going with The Irishman. All right, Damo, your favorite Pacino character?
Tony Montana.
Yeah,
That's
that's right, mine.
it's character, man.
Yeah.
That's the big word there.
Mike D, favorite Pacino character?
No, man. I never even gave it that much thought. I mean, the one I like the wreck is Scarface because everybody loves it so much. So, yeah, we'll go with that.
All right, so you're going at Tony Montana too.
Just in a bad way. Just like that's like the over the top, like, everybody likes that. Like, thinks it's such a great movie.
He's
such a great actor in that one.
It's a fantastic movie.
How about Al Big Boy Caprice from Dick Tracy? People forget about that.
I wasn't big on Dick Tracy.
I actually liked him as in The Irishman. I mean, he was over the top.
He was great in The Irishman.
He was way over the top in that one too, but it was great.
He was great in The Irishman. I'm going with Tony Montana. How could you not?
Yeah.
Tony Montana. All right, De Niro, favorite character?
It's either Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver or Sam Ace Rothstein from Casino. Man, I think I'm going with Sam Rothstein on this one.
Mike D?
Casino.
I actually liked him in Angel Heart playing Lou Cipher, but
Lou Cipher, yeah.
I'm gonna go with Taxi Driver.
Going with Bickle. It's a toss-up between Jimmy Conway and Ace. So
Jimmy Conway was
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas, right?
I'm gonna go with Ace. I'm gonna go with you, Dame. Sam Rothstein.
Yeah,
I got a kick out of it. I thought he was great in that movie.
Sharon Stone was great, man. Dude was just like, God,
fantastic.
man, what a I don't know.
She drew, and then fucking what's the name playing? The boyfriend, fucking James Woods.
What's his name? James Woods. Don Rickles was in it. It was just.
Dude, I like the fact that it's like he'll never wear a suit like that. Why does he need? Like, he was so fucking.
I love Casino.
Casino's a great movie. Yeah, man. There you have it. Mixtapes and tasty cakes. Al Pacino takes it. See you next week.